They trying to get that fight more of a like, oh, it's gonna be a good fight, but no, Roach a decent fighter, but ain't gonna dog him. Ain't gonna dog him.
For sure, I agree.
Gervonta Davis' most recent knockout victim, Frank Martin, is confident Gervonta Davis made quick work of Lamont Roach going to whoop him. Martin said in a recent interview with Ease News, it's no surprise Martin is backing Gervonta Davis. Other past opponents like Ryan Garcia and Rolando have also thrown their support behind him.
Why do you believe that is? Because Tank is just too much like...
A dominant win for Gervonta Davis on them, while a loss could suggest their own defeats were less meaningful from Martin's perspective. Lamont Roach is little more than a minor obstacle, while he doesn't completely dismiss the 29-year-old, acknowledging Roach's toughness and improved skill set that's earned him a spot among top fighters. Martin ultimately sees no Gervonta Davis decent fighter, he said. Gervonta Davis in Martin's eyes.
So easy when he fought Frank Martin.
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter. To be broken. And the fact that even though he's a good fighter, he's never been in the ring with a complete fighter like me. For them, especially the ones who don't know about boxing, you can suck it.
Won't just win, he'll make a statement by breaking Roach down and leaving no doubt about who's on another level. Lamont Roach, however, believes he offers a much tougher challenge than Frank Martin, the previously undefeated lightweight who was knocked out in highlight reel fashion by Gervonta Davis in June. Respectfully, I'm not...
You know, everybody pushing for the fight. I'm not fighting at 135 no more. I know he probably ain't gonna be at 135 for too long either, but I ain't gonna stay at 135, so we can do something at 140. I'm with it. You know, I'm gonna go. I'm a green light, so I wish him the best in his next fight. You know, he get the dub.
Not Frank Martin. Roach said in an interview with Najee Grampus of Started Boxing when he was, Premier Boxing Champions. Martin actually began. Frank Martin simply didn't have the experience he needed. That was clear to everyone.
Being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
Watching Roach explained, not like I'm trying to disrespect him or just talk for the sake of it. He just wasn't ready to be. And there with someone as skilled and seasoned. Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, believes he's built differently. I've got the same skill level as Gervonta Davis, experience, the reflexes, the ability, and I damn sure have the ring IQ. So the real question makes people think I'm going to end up like those other guys who weren't pre-bred before his.
I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off. To be broken. And the fact that even though he's a good fighter, he's never been in the ring with a complete fighter like me. For them, especially the ones who don't know about boxing, you can suck.
First fight with Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis held an unblemished record of 30-0, with 28 of those wins coming by knockout. The only fighters to take him the distance were German Maras in 2014 when Davis was just 9 fights into his pro career, and who Gervonta Davis decision win in 2021. It was later revealed that Gervonta Davis had fought Cruz with a hand injury.
And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Oquendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I gotta do that. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie.
While Roach respects Davis's punching power, he also believes there's more to the story. Gervonta Davis a few shots to the chin, but nobody's ever dropped me, Roach said. Has anyone ever seen me hurt in a fight? He addressed a moment from his 2019 loss to Jamel Herring when a counter right hook appeared to drop him.
I feel like you got a certain confidence about this fight that I've interviewed a few different Tank opponents. And everybody gonna say like, yeah, you know, everybody say this shit. That's what you're supposed to say, right? Like, I'm going into a fight. I don't think people thinking they're gonna lose, but it just feels like you have a different confidence than most other people. Where do you feel like that comes from?
That's just how I'm wired, bro. I ain't never backed down from nothing. I damn sure ain't never wanted to come second to anything. So,
why it wasn't called a knockdown while Roach is confident in his own abilities. He also gives credit where it's due, acknowledging that Gervonta Davis' few weaknesses. The ones that I do know, I'll try to exploit. Gervonta Davis be easy. We all know he's a hell of a fighter, but Roach doesn't speak like a man who merely hopes to win.
You know, with certain guys and create great fights at 140.
Man, honestly, you know, the last fight, even the fight before that, you know, before the last fight, I lost, you know, the weight cut, and then just too, you know, I'm getting bigger. You know, I got a lot of muscle, everybody know that. Just naturally, you know, like.
He talks like someone who truly believes it. On August 16th at Brooklyn's Barclays Center, the majority of the packed crowd will be expecting another Gervonta Davis knockout. Roach, however, is more than ready to play spoiler, at least to a certain extent. Frank Martin carried himself with the same conviction in the lead-up to his fight with Davis in June 2024. The highly ranked lightweight even wagged a finger in Davis's face and vowed to make him pay.
Lifting weights and all that stuff, you know, I'm just naturally just, my physique is a strong stature. So I just feel like my last 2 weight cuts was real tough on me. You know, my last fight, I got tired, probably like my legs got to getting tired in probably like the 5th round. You know, just from the weight cut and everything. So, shit, I felt like my body shut down in that fight. So I was just like, I'm gonna just move up to 140 and go from there. You know, when I was an amateur, I fought at 141. When I turned professional.
But come fight night, things didn't play out the way Martin imagined. Martin challenged Gervonta Davis for his WBA lightweight title at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas this past June, stepping into the ring with hopes of becoming the first man to. Was a competitive fight, with just a single point separating them on the scorecards going into the 8th round.
Tank's power, how was his power to you? Was it really like devastating power?
I mean, he got power, you know what I mean? But it's more like he do a great job at landing this big shot. You know, he know how to land that shot. You know, hit guys on the button and just get him up out of there, you know, because he.
But like so many before him, Martin ultimately fell victim to Gervonta Davis. A crushing left hook dropped him, sealing an 8th round knockout and pushing perfect 30-0. With 28 of those wins coming by stoppage, Gervonta Davis Martin reflected.
35, and I was going to work my way back up, but I feel like I'm going to just be more comfortable at 41 now. I'm trying to come across hell at 140, so whoever want it, you know what I'm saying, come get it.
Yeah, I saw you put a tweet. It was something like, y'all gonna have a long day in hell if you think, you know, you're gonna touch some fighters up at 140. You know, I know that you want to fight all the top guys, right? And specifically the champions, right? Is there just kind of a fighter?
Gervonta Davis' power and what makes it so effective. Martin said he does a great job landing the big shot. He knows how to place it. He hits guys right on the button to get them out of there. He's an accurate puncher and knows exactly how to land. Martin was just the latest name.
AI crazy, but they've been jumping lately too. Whole bunch of different stuff, man. I be laughing my ass off.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Speaking of, you know, I seen Jalil Hackett's Twitter. He was talking about what possibly
added to Gervonta Davis's growing list of stoppage victories. The Baltimore native has also finished high-profile opponents like Ryan Garcia, Leo Santa Cruz, and Romero inside the.
Somebody got to take the fall, and it ain't gonna be him. So, like, they owned up to it. Like, all right, we missed this. They owned up to it. It's like, but they just saying like, all right, we're not gonna overturn it though. We're gonna, you know, apologize and give you your flowers, but you ain't gonna get what you want. That's basically what I got.
Distance. Martin had stepped into the ring at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas this past June, challenging Gervonta Davis WBA lightweight title and hoping to be the first man to.
And you ain't heard nothing from the ref. He didn't make no statement.
He ain't make no statement. That was, I ain't gonna lie, man. That was from him. That's sad.
A lot of times that's what the commissions do though, man. If something bad happened with a ref, they'll protect the referee.
Yeah.
And they'll try to get in front of it, and they'll have a spokesperson come out, and it's like, yeah, that's cool sometimes, but if you drop the ball like that and that affects my legacy, my livelihood, because y'all negotiating for a rematch right now. So you negotiate.
Hand him a loss. Instead, he was stopped in the 8th round. Now, with first-hand experience of Davis's power and precision, Martin isn't giving Lamont Roach
130. I was fighting at 130. Obviously, he was already at the championship level. He got catapulted up there by doing what he was supposed to do, knocking everybody out that they put in front of him. Got Floyd behind him. I was, you know, I was on the hush. I was coming up though. He's a small guy. I knew he wasn't gonna go too far. So, and I knew he can rumble. I knew that he'd be as. I'm not surprised at how good he is or what he's done to other people.
Much of a chance. He knows exactly how dangerous Tank can be.